Hello students, I will explain to you in this video the task 3 must reading materials about client-side programming, which is discussing JavaScript language. JavaScript language is the programming language of HTML and the web that we can use to create dynamically updating content or very simply interactive web page or interactive website. And this language is running in your browser, on your tablet or a smartphone. Now, the first thing I would like to explain where to practice your when you write the code in this language. So there are two ways to do that. We can use the notepad that we have it in Windows. This is the notepad, so we can write the code of JavaScript using notepad as we will see later in some examples. Or you can use the online tool or editor. We have it on the browser. Just you can write javascript.do, then you can write your JavaScript code here and just click on the run code to get the result immediately on the browser. Now the first thing I need to explain where to insert JavaScript. JavaScript can be inserted between the script tag as we can find here, and of course using the HTML code. Now where we can write this script code, JavaScript code, there are three ways in JavaScript. We can place it inside the head section of HTML or inside the body section of HTML, or we can write the JavaScript in external file. Then we can link with this external file to run the JavaScript code. Now let me show you example about the three ways to insert JavaScript in HTML. Now, for example, I have this HTML code. This is what we know about HTML. I will use Notepad, or let me use the online editor here. Now, for the first time you have all of this code, you can just select and delete. Now, I have this HTML code and I want to write JavaScript code. So I can write the script here using the script tag, and then we have to end the script tag. So we can write our script here between the two tags. Now this is the first example is inside the head section. So for example, I will write this code alert, then I will write for example, hello world. That's it. Now this script I can run it. Just click run code. So this is the script hello world, which is a message box. I click OK. Or I can write the code inside the body section. Now this example, it was inside the head section. I will make it inside the body section. So look, now I will change this into the body section. Then when I click run code, again will give me the same result. Now this is in case if you want to use the online JavaScript editor. Now if you want to use this notepad editor we have in Windows, so again if I get this code, I put it here, then I will save it as HTML file. I will go to file, save as, then I will save it inside folder. I have it on the desktop. It's called JavaScript. Now I will change save as type to all files. Then I will write exercise 1.html. Now, okay. Now as we can find here, the script, I have it inside the body section. So if I open the folder, double click on the file, just now I save it inside the folder. So look, now I have the message box here. Okay. Now the last way, which is we can save the JavaScript code inside external file. So to do that, now I will change, let me open another notepad. I will write the code here. Now to write in separate file, external file, no need to write the script tag. You can write the JavaScript code immediately. So here I have alert, then hello world. Now this is the code only. So how to save this external file? I will save it as file, save as, all files. Again, inside the JavaScript, I have it this folder on my desktop. Then I will call it, for example, my script dot should be JS. Any external file of JavaScript must be formatted with JS. So I will save this file. Now, how to call this file from my HTML page? Here I will use the script tag again. You can put it inside the head section or body section, but I need to use the attribute src. Then I put the file name, which is my script.js. So now I will save this file. Look, now when I run it, now I link it my HTML with JavaScript. Now inside my folder I have two files, the external file, which is my script, and the HTML file, which is linked with my script file. Now when I double click on it, so again I get the same result with this message box. Click OK, so it's working. This is about how to insert and where to write JavaScript code with HTML. Okay, now let me talk about the JavaScript output. As we can find here, JavaScript can display data in different ways. So we can use the HTML element inner HTML to write into the HTML, or we can use document.write, window.alert, or console.log. So here we have examples about each about each method, how to display data. So let me show you using the online editor directly here. So for example, to use inner HTML, so here let us assume I have a paragraph here. It has ID, and this ID is demo. And this paragraph is empty, so I close the paragraph. So look, there is no text here. Now I want to write or insert text or display text in this paragraph. So I will use the first way described in JavaScript, which is by using inner HTML. So I have the code here. Anyway, so here in JavaScript, look, now any JavaScript code again must be written inside script tag because this statement is JavaScript statement, so I have to write it inside the script tag. In case if you want to put it inside the head section or body section or in external file. So look, this property inner HTML will be used to add text into the paragraph. Why into this paragraph? Because I'm using the ID, which is demo, and then I'm targeting this paragraph using its ID. So now when I run this code, you will find the paragraph my first JavaScript. So this text is written inside the paragraph and then displayed on the page. So for example, if I change this one to demo1, the ID, and here if I want to target this paragraph, I have to write demo1. So if I run, then I get the same result. Now this is the first way to display data. The second way is by using document.write. So for example, I don't have paragraph here, then I want to use the document.write. Now what do you want to display? Again, for example, I want to display hello world. So look, now when I run this code, I get hello world. The third way is called alert. So again, if I write alert, and here my first exercise, for example. So look, now when I run this code, I'm getting the alert is different. It looks like a message box, my first exercise. Then I click OK. And there is one more method, which is for debugging purpose. It's called console.log. log. So these are the 4 ways that we can use it to display data into HTML. So please practice that. Now let us talk about Java. Now, as we can find here, JavaScript statements are composed of values, operators, expressions, keywords, and comments. As we can find here in this example, the statement just now we practiced it to tell the browser to write hello world inside an HTML element with the ID demo. So we have used the property inner.html to target this element, HTML element. Its ID is demo, and to write this text, which is hello world. So here, this is what a statement that to tell the browser what to do. Now, regarding the statements in JavaScript must be ended with semicolons, as we can find here in some examples. Now we have to write a semicolon at the end of each executable statement. So as we have seen just now in the practice that we have done, when I wrote this statement or this line, I ended with a semicolon. So any executable statement in JavaScript must be ended with a semicolon. So don't forget that. Here we have some examples. You can practice it. You can just review it. Now regarding the, of course, the JavaScript value just now, because we have mentioned that the JavaScript statement composed of values. So as we can find here, the JavaScript syntax define 2 types of values: fixed value and variable values. And the fixed values, it's called literals, and the variable values are called variables. Now, very simply, regarding the literals or the fixed values are the numbers, or for example the string. So how we write, if we write any number or any string value, so this one we consider it as a fixed value. So for example here, 6 is fixed value, 5 is fixed value, and if I have string like we have here in these examples, and so it's considered as fixed value. Now always the strings, which is a text written within double quotation or single quotes, as we can find in these 2 examples. So now let us talk about the variables, how we can declare variable in JavaScript. We can declare variable in JavaScript using var keyword. So here we can find examples about how to declare a variable. So for example here, variable x, so x now is a variable, then I can assign values into the variable. Here in this example we have declared the 3 variables, x, y, and z. Here you have some guidelines about how to give name to the variable. So you have to check it out that all the names, for example, can contain letters, digits, underscore, and $sign, but always the names of the variables should start with letter. Now let me show you example here very quickly to declare variable in this editor. So for example here I have the script. I declare variable, I will call it my name, then I put my name there as a text value, so inside 2 double quotation. Then for example I want to display my name. I can use, for example, document dot write. Then I want to display my name, which is assigned into the variable. So I write the variable name here, my name. So look now, when I write, run the code, I get the value of the variable I declared just now. Now, regarding the data types in JavaScript, now JavaScript variables can hold many data types. For example, numbers, strings, objects, and more. For example, Boolean values. So here we can find the 3 examples. This is a number because the value, the data type of this value is a number. This one is string, and this is object. So again here in this example we have pi variable. It has value, which is a number, and we have person and answer, which are strings, because here we have used a double quotation and here I have used a single quotation. Now we need to practice this. So as we can find here in this example, if you put a number in quotes, so the rest of the numbers will be treated as strings. So 5 plus 2 plus 3, because the first value here is string, so the output will be 5 to 3. So will be considered 2 as a string, and the same thing for 3 as a string. So the output will be 5 to 3. Now also we have to remember that JavaScript always evaluate the expressions from left to right. For example, I have 16 plus 4. Now 16 plus 4, both of them are numbers. So the answer here is 20 plus string. Now will give me the same result. That's mean 20 Volvo will be the answer. So we'll evaluate the expression from left to right. Now regarding this is different, because the first one is string, so we'll treat the other values here as strings. So we will get Volvo 16.4 as we can find in this result. So please, you need to practice about this using the editor to check the result immediately. Now regarding the JavaScript has what we call it dynamic types, which means the same variable can be used to hold different data types. So for example, here we have declared x as a variable. Now for the first time I put number, then after that inside the same variable I put string. So this one, it's possible with JavaScript because it has dynamic types. I can change the data type of the value that I want to save inside the variable. We can concatenate the strings using the operator plus. For example, here Ahmed El Shibli plus space, then will give me one string which is Ahmed El Shibli as one string text. We can use the equal assignment operator to assign value into the variables. Like for example here variable x and y, then I put 5 inside x and put 6 inside y. Now regarding some other things that you need to of course consider, it is about the expressions, which is a combination of values, variables, and operators. So here we have value, or sometimes I have variables and I have operator. For example, the operator here is the multiplication. We can use addition, subtraction, division operator with our expressions. Now JavaScript, it has some keywords, and of course we need to consider that. And these keywords are used to identify actions to be performed. For example, to declare variable, the keyword used for that is var. To create a function, the keyword used for the function is function, and so on. Now, how to add comments into the JavaScript code? We can use double slash, or between slash and asterisk, this is star. We can add comments which are not executed and ignored by the browser and not executed. Now JavaScript is a case sensitive language, so when you declare variable you have to make sure from the of course the name that is given to the variable. So for example here I have last name, but they are considered as two different variables because here n is capital and for the first variable we have lower letters. The last thing I need to mention about it in JavaScript about functions. So as we can find here, the function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task, and we can call the function to execute it. So how to create function in JavaScript? We can follow this format. So here we can find we have to start with the keyword function, then we have to give name to the function. We may have parameters to pass into the function. We can write it here, or maybe without parameters. Then the code that we need to execute, we put it inside or between two brackets. Now let me show you example about the function here using the online editor. So for example, here I will write a function inside the here section. So I have to use script, then close the script. I will write function. I will call it, for example, display. It has no parameters, then 2 brackets. Now this function will display alert message or message box. For example, I will write here, you called the function. Now look, so I will remove this. If I run this code now, nothing will happen because the function is there, but I didn't call this function. So for example, inside the body section, I will write script. I close the script. So then I will call the function by using the name of the function, which is display and semicolon. So here in this case, if I run this code again, so look now, you call it the function. So always when you create function anywhere inside the here section or inside the body section, you must call the function to execute the code of the function. Now inside the task 3 mass reading material, you have some examples show you about the function. Please check it out and practice it with the online editor or the notepad. The last thing we have it here is about the conditional statement, which are the if state, which is the if statement. So here you can find the syntax of the if statement, how to write simple if statement or if else statement, in addition to the if else if statement. So we have example about each statement. Let me show you example about it here in the editor, very quick one. So here, for example, I have a function. I will declare variable. I will call it x, and it has value which is 20. So I will say if x is less than or is greater than 10, for example, then display this message. Alright, you call it the function. Otherwise, nothing will be displayed. Now x is greater than 10, so if I run it, the message will be displayed. So what about if x is less than 10, for example, is 5? So can I get the same alert message? Nothing will be executed. Why? Because the function is called already, but because of this condition, this line not executed because the condition is false, because x is not greater than 10. So this is a very quick example about how to use if statement in Java script. So we have some examples here. You have to check it out and practice it. And if you have any questions, so as you know, you can contact me through SULMS and Microsoft Teams. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.